Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, my friends. The second time I'm recording this. Hopefully I'll get it right this time. I had to have a break there to not be annoyed for a bit. But I talked too much last time anyway, and that's a habit of mine. So let's try and be a bit more succinct this time. But Merry Christmas 2023. I have a tradition of trying to do something creative for Christmas, usually drawings, a terrible record, and some other silly things. But this year I turned 60. I feel that I have to stay interested in things, and the world is very political, so I've decided to try and start a podcast. So this is just practicing really for that, and an excuse to say Merry Christmas and sort of introduce myself to people again, I suppose. I haven't seen a lot of people for a lot of time, and I don't know if anybody will see this, but Merry Christmas, and I'm just going to put together something akin to my old radio show, actually, where although I'm uncomfortable here on camera, perhaps I'll get used to it, but in the radio show I just put some pieces of music together and chatted in between, of course, and I'm going to do a little bit of that, but my chat in between will be reading a few pieces of poetry, and that relates to Christmas and sends, I hope, a positive Christmas message. And then I'll cut in some copyright expired bits of footage from some of my favorite material, Christmas themed, over the years. I'm going to dedicate the show to my Aunt Bubs, whose poetry book provided most of this content and whose great mind stimulated me in a critical way when I was a kid. And so this is to you, Bubs. This is a little cup of tea, a teacup she gave me when I was very young, that I still cherish but don't use, just today for Christmas. It's very small. As I was very small, and the thought of Bubs and a cup of tea was a great source of comfort to me. So thank you, Bubs. And also to my friend Sean, who bought this microphone you're looking at for me for Christmas to try to encourage me to do this instead of bending his ear with all my ideas all the time. Perhaps he thinks I'll be exhausted by the time we get together and he can relax and listen to some heavy music instead of some politics, but I doubt it. So first of all is from the Trinity Choir. I'm going to just play Joy to the World.
Joy Good morning, sir. We're taking orders for Christmas cards. I designed them myself, and my partner, Mr. Laurel, wrote the beautiful verse.
Swell.
May I read you one?
Read them.
Thank you, sir. 'Twas Christmas Day in the poorhouse, and the boys were feeling blue. The boys in gray were fighting. A Merry Christmas to you.
And a Happy New Year to you.
We have one here, especially for the ladies. Jingle bells, coming through the rye. I wish you a Merry Christmas, even as you and I.
It took the very words out of my mouth.
What's the matter with it?
No sentiment.
Ask him if he's got a mother. That Jenny gets him.
You ask him.
Did you ever have a mother?
Oh. Now you hit me.
That's fine. We have one here dedicated to mothers. May I read it to you?
Read it.
Merry Christmas, Mother. Merry Christmas, Ma. Hi, Mommy, and a hot cha-cha.
A beautiful thought. I'll take one.
And pictures of my mum and Bub's, not Christmassy but festive, and the famous cup of tea I mentioned. So the first poem, untitled, strange name for a poem, Margot Knowles. I worry and wonder and puzzle and ponder, who would like what for Christmas? I wait for the bus and fret and fuss. I'm forgetting the meaning of Christmas. The stores are bright, my heart is light, till my feet start rebelling at Christmas. No sign of a chair. Don't the shops care? Caring is a part of Christmas.
Good morning, madam. Pardon the intrusion.
What is your business?
Why, we are taking orders for Christmas cards. May we show you our display?
No, thanks. I'm not interested.
Ask her about if she's got a husband. That Jenny gets him.
Pardon the presumption, but you have a husband, of course.
Yes.
Now, you're right up our alley. We have a little number here, which I think is one of Stanley's tenderest thoughts. Now, just listen to this. A Merry Christmas, husband. Happy New Year's nigh. I wish you Easter greetings. Hooray for the 4th of July. Now, we call that our 4-in-1 card.
Yes, ma'am. You can use it all the year round.
No, thanks. I'm still not interested.
Why, did we say something to upset you?
No.
Well, what are you crying for?
Oh, you wouldn't be interested in my troubles.
Why, on the contrary. I know exactly how you feel. Now, if you wish to confide in me, I will leave no stone unturned to lighten your burden. Won't you tell me? Did someone hurt your feelings? Is it another man?
Did you lose your job?
So you won't talk, huh?
This is William Blake's Jerusalem, an extract from chapter 4, which is addressed to the Christians. I stood among my valleys of the south and saw a flame of fire even as a wheel of fire surrounding all the heavens. It went from west to east against the current of creation and devoured all things in its loud fury and thundering course round heaven and earth. By it the sun was rolled into an orb. By it the moon faded into a globe, travelling through the night, for from its dire and restless fury man himself shrunk up into a little root a fathom long. And I asked a watcher and a holy one its name. He answered, "It is the wheel of religion." I wept and said, "Is this the law of Jesus, this terrible devouring sword turning every way?" He answered, "Jesus died because he strove against the current of this wheel. Its name is Caiaphas, the dark preacher of death, of sin, of sorrow, and of punishment, opposing nature. It is natural religion, but Jesus is the bright preacher of life, creating nature from this fiery law by self-denial and forgiveness of sin. Go therefore, cast out devils in Christ's name, heal thou the sick of spiritual disease. Pity the evil, for thou art not sent to smite with terror and with punishments those that are sick, like the Pharisees, crucifying and encompassing sea and land for proselytes to tyranny and wrath. But to the publicans and harlots go, teach them true happiness, but let no curse go forth out of thy mouth to blight their peace. For hell is open to heaven. Thine eyes beheld the dungeons burst, and the prisoners set free.
Be off with you.
Well, have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. In fact, he died 7 years ago this very day.
Oh, well, we have no doubt that his generosity is well represented by his surviving partner. At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. I wish I could say they were not.
And the treadmill and the poor law, they're still in full vigor, I presume?
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, from what you said at first, I was afraid that something had happened to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
I don't think you quite understand us, sir. A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth.
Why?
Because it is at Christmas time that want is most keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What can I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, sir, that is my answer. I help to support the establishments I have mentioned. Those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and some would rather die.
If they would rather die, they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population. You'll want the whole day off tomorrow, I suppose.
If quite convenient, sir.
Not convenient. And it's not fair. If I stopped you half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, wouldn't you? But you don't think me ill-used if I pay a day's wages for no work, do you?
It is only once a year, sir.
It's a poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December.
Yes, I'm sure I'm very sorry, sir, to cause you such an inconvenience. It's the family more than me, sir. They put their hearts into Christmas, as it were, sir.
Yes, and put their hands into my pocket, as it were, sir. I suppose you better have the whole day. But be back all the earlier next morning.
I will indeed, sir. Thank you, sir. It's more than generous of you, sir.
Yes, I know it is. You don't have to tell me.
Merry Christmas, sir.
A Merry Christmas, sir. You, a clerk, on 15 shillings a week with a wife and a family, talking about a Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam.
Jacob, man.
Oh. What do you want with me?
Much. You don't believe in me.
I don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheat. You might be an undigested bit of beef, a piece of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grave in you. Whatever you are. Mercy to me.
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do. I must. But why do you walk the earth? And why do you come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men. If it goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander through the world. And witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth, and turn to happiness.
Why are you fettered?
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded it on of my own free will and of my own free will. I wore it. Now I am doomed to wander without rest or peace. Incessant torture and remorse.
But it was only that you were a good man of business, Jacob.
Business! Mankind was my business. Their common welfare was my business. And it is at this time of the rolling year I suffer most. Hear me. My time is nearly gone. I come tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer.
Thank you, Jacob. You were always a good friend of mine.
You will be visited by 3 spirits.
What? Was that the chance of hope that you mentioned, Jacob?
It was.
Oh, well, in that case, never mind. I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first when the bell tolls 1. Look to see me no more. But look here, that you may remember for your own sake what has passed between us.
Why do they lament?
They seek to interfere for good in human matters and have lost their power forever.
Yes, I'm coming.
Come in. Come in.
I'm coming.
Come in, and no better, man. I am the spirit of Christmas present. Look upon me. You've never seen the like of me before, have you?
Never. And I wish the pleasure had been indefinitely postponed.
Mortal, we spirits of Christmas do not live only one day of our year. We live the whole 365. So is it true of the child born in Bethlehem. He does not live in men's hearts only one day of the year, but in all the days of the year. You have chosen not to seek him in your heart. Therefore you shall come with me and seek him in the hearts of men of goodwill. Come.
What place is this?
A place where miners live, who labor in the bowels of the earth. But they know me. Come.
Cratchit.
He's coming, Mother. Father's here with Tiny Tim.
Here, Martha. You hide, and we'll tell him you've been held up, and who knows when you'll be
Yes,
there.
go and hide. Oh, goodness, where?
Behind the scullery door, quickly, Martha.
Martha?
Oh, she's not coming.
Not coming? Not coming on Christmas Day?
Yes, I am, Father. I can't bear to let them tease you.
Why, bless your heart. It never would have been Christmas if they'd kept you late.
Is the pudding still singing in the copper, Peter? Yes, come and hear it. You come too, Mary and Belinda. You come along as well, Martha. Come and hear the pudding singing in the copper. I'll come in a minute. All right.
Sit you down before the fire and have a nice warm, the Lord bless you.
We had such a deal of work to finish up last night, but I never did think I'd get away. We had to clear away this morning, and then I ran all the way so as to be here in time.
How did little Tim behave in church?
As good as gold and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much and thinks the strangest things you ever heard. He told me he wasn't going to feel shy if people looked at him because he was a cripple, as it might be pleasant to them, being in church, to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see. He's growing strong and hearty, though, Martha, my dear. Isn't he, my love?
Spirit, tell me, will Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, another of my race shall find him there.
Oh, no. No. Kind Spirit, say that he will be spared.
Why? If he be like to die, he'd better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Well, my little cock sparrow, here's your own stool by the fire, all ready for you.
There's such a goose, Martha. I'm sure of it. And the pudding. Oh, the pudding.
I shan't be easy till it's eaten. I confess I have my doubts about the quantity of flour.
It'll be a perfect pudding, my love. A perfect pudding. Won't it, Martha, my dear? Hey, Tim?
It'll be the finest pudding in the whole of London this Christmas. And the goose will be the finest goose. And ours will be the finest Christmas. Here's the punch, all steaming hot. Now, Goose, take your turn, one and all, if you please. There's enough for one toast now and another after that.
There, bravo. There's bounty for you. I declare, I'd like to know how many families of our acquaintance could boast 2 rounds of the best gin punch. Now, has everybody got his drink?
Yes.
Good. Then a toast, my love, my dear Reese, to our Merry Christmas. God bless us.
God bless us. God bless us, everyone.
I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
Oh, no. I wish I had him here now. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast himself upon.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
Could only be on Christmas Day that I would drink the health of such a hard, stingy, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
Count Your Blessings by Dory Jones. The sea breeze wafted over her, soft as a kiss. Sunlight caressed the gentle face, eyes closed in pure contentment and bliss. Here by the shore, her favourite place. Too bright, isn't it? Said a voice beside her. Can't read my book, hurts my eyes, and I forgot to bring dark glasses. I see you were wearing yours, very wise. The plaintive voice continued, only down for the day, got stuck with a window seat on the coach. The sunshine bothered me all the way, and somewhere too I lost a brooch. It just hasn't been my day. The gentle face turned to say, in a voice warm and sweet, forgive me, I must be on my way. Stooping, she fumbled under the seat, and picking up her white stick, said, goodbye, my dear. I'm so sorry you aren't enjoying this lovely day. Mr. God by Lucy Dobbins. Mr. God, are you receiving? Can you hear my plea? I want to be more holy, Mr. God. Just look at me. My life is in confusion, and when put to the test, I really get things wrong, even though I try my best. Mr. God, I'm such a sinner, my ways I shall reveal. I can't control my temper, Mr. God. How you must feel. It really does seem selfish to rage, storm and shout. But I can't find peace, Lord, so I've got to let it out. Mr. God, have you an answer as I call for help in prayer and come in full repentance? Mr. God, are you still there? It's funny you're not angry. If you are, it doesn't show. When you send the Holy Spirit and my faith begins to grow. Mr. God, thanks for listening and being there as a guide when life is getting tough. Mr. God, you're by my side. Whenever I do wrong, you always seem to be peaceful, kind and loving, forgiving constantly. Mr. God, I don't know why you love me like you do. Just one more thing before I go, Mr. God. I love you too. I'm not actually religious, but I'm sentimental. And it's Christmas. So a lot of people ask, is God real? Is Jesus real? Is Jesus God? Etc., etc. I'm not going to address all of that here today, even if I could. But Jesus is real, and there's a little commentary here about the historicity of Jesus. Part of the popular confusion around the historicity of Jesus may be caused by peculiar archaeological arguments raised in relation to him. Recently, there have been claims that Jesus was a great-grandson of Cleopatra, complete with ancient coins allegedly showing Jesus wearing his crown of thorns. In some circles, there's still interest in the Shroud of Turin, supposedly Jesus' burial shroud. Pope Benedict XVI stated it was something that no human artistry was capable of producing and an icon of Holy Saturday. It's hard to find historians who regard this material as serious archaeological data, however. The documents produced by Christian, Jewish and Roman writers form the most significant evidence. These abundant historical references leave us with little reasonable doubt that Jesus lived and died. The more interesting question, which goes beyond history and objective fact, is whether Jesus died and lived. Well, Santa lives, we know that much. One last thought from ancient times, about AD 200, anonymous Christian epigram. Egyptian woman, hidden infant and close river. These are the human earthly current in the pattern giver. See it who can. Well, I came across that looking for material and I thought I'd like to see it. And my best guess is this is really about eternal patterns of fear and hate and violence and good versus evil. Christmas is good. Merry Christmas, my friends. Thanks for listening.